Hi everyone, this is Olivia. Sorry for the messy desk. I've been trying to do stuff. I did make some, I altered two crosses, wall crosses, but I want to make another one, but I have to do a video of that. And then I made another altered place mat purse, vintage style. And then for 3 weeks I've been working on this. I wanted to try my hand at a vintage um, journal made out of these last two. I have some more, but these the ones I dyed. They were the time card sheets. They weren't connected, but what I did, I used that again, that washi tape right here, and then I used some tissue paper I have right here, and this tissue paper right here is from decoupage from, I think, I'm trying to think what country I bought, because I like the Victorian women. So I used that on the front, and this came with these flowers. Of course, I had it right here to show it to you, the paper, but it might be underneath something because I've been trying to organize my craft room and my closet. Well, not here either. But anyway, so then I use this antique lace here, and I think this is antique too, or they're vintage. And then I put the cluster flowers here, and I put some more of that, a different kind of vintage antique lace here. And then I use some of this small trim I have in my stash. And then this is the back. You know, I love the fashion plates, the Victorian fashion plates, and I have these papers that were like for patterns, I guess. I don't know, they're vintage, but I have show them next time. I cut one out that had this image in here, so I put that in the back, and this is an antique little flower here, and right here a cherub. Here's some more of that trim. Here's some more trim from my vintage little box I got last time I was at the flea market. And then I had this in my stash. This is vintage embroidery trim here. And then I used some of that napkin, this one. I really like this. I really love flowers. If anybody knows me, I love flowers. Dresses, blouses, paper, you name it. Yes. And then I put a little cluster of avocado dyed lace here. I put two together. I was trying to be smart about that. So this is the front. And then inside the first page, I'm sorry. The first page is another one of those that I cut out from the paper. And this is a vintage rose here I cut out. And here's another one from a vintage or antique newspaper, I think it was. But I already have scanned some of these, so. And then I put one of these. Oh, and then I dyed the paper with tea. And then I put one of those cigar bands right here, some little flowers here. And then inside the pocket, I put an antique calling card. And then I have these little Victorian little girls. They're antiques. I put one of those on there. And here's another calling card, Emma. It's an antique. And then here's another antique advertisement. And then here's the Tim Holtz paper I use for a pocket. And then this is where you can see the Victorian lady and her daughter. And I put here's some more napkin I decomposed there. And then I have this pretty little lace that I dyed with the avocado trim. And I like the way it looked like that all cut up, so I just ruffled it like that. So that goes back in there. That's the first. I love this first page because the image, and it's only one signature. And then this one, I could write stuff or whoever, and I used stamps I have here, and then a pair of the cigar bands here. And then on the next page, I left it blank, and I put some vintage lace here, and I laced this ruffle here, and then this is trim. Then I stamped love there, and then I made another pocket from the Tim Holtz cards, and it's dream big. I want to say dream big and smile, but it says dream big. And then I put a vintage playing card in there, and I think this is from Tim Holtz. I don't think this is antique, but I made it. I tried to age it. And then I saw, I'm trying to remember you girls do the clusters here, so I did a cluster with a ticket here, and Tim Holtz bird, and then some vintage antique paper here, and then another cutout here, and then on the next page, I have another cutout here, and then I put one of the pretty little birds chirp, and I have a little bird there with a heart, and I cut out this antique image. I did a stamp there with some more flowers, and then I put a card here, but I haven't decided. I might make it a pocket or just a tuck spot. I don't know yet. And then I have this antique picture of this handsome man here, and I put this glue. I mean this oh god, which one I call it? Piece of fabric here, flower, and this was really old, so. And in the middle, I put the stamp didn't come out right, but I put one of those rice paper images, and then I stamped it again. Then I used one of those. It came apart. One of those tickets that came with two copies, the pink and the I think it's in the back. And then I used one of my vintage playing cards, and then this is underneath. And I could write something there. And then here's another pocket for the Tim Holtz cards that I cut down. Here's the antique image of a little girl. And then I have, this is a piece of paper that I found. So that's the way it looks. And then just put it there. And there's a pocket, and then there's there. Then I made a little cluster here with the antique lace and paper here, right there. And then on the next page, this is not antique. I found this in my stash, and then I made a little teeny little cluster to the top because it got torn right there. So here's the other side. That's my JoJo. I told you he has a condition. He has a partial close of his trachea, the flap there. So sometimes saliva or food gets stuck in there. If he keeps on doing that, then I have to squirt some water in his mouth, and he'll be better. So I did another stamp here with a little embroidered trim here, and then I used a stamp, and then I put another little saying there for Tim Holtz, generous and true, another antique image I cut out from my paper. And then on the next page, I used some more of that trim right here, that crochet trim here. And this is the antique calling, part of the antique calling card. And here's that tag I was telling you. It came with those two, this paper, the pink one and the white one. And then I just did that. And then in the next page, another Tim Holtz pocket. I love pockets. They put goodies in there. And here's, this is volume. This is the antique bookmark. I think I just have to make it more sturdy in the back. And then another little vintage cluster I made there. And then here's another lady I cut out. And then I'll just stick that in there. And then on the next page, I use this antique. I think this was a advertisement for soap, I think. So I put that there. Then I see all you girls make little double pockets with a music sheet or paper. So I had these. Somebody send these. I bought something. Somebody gifted me these tags with all the images, but I said they'll fit just right in there. So I was trying to be slick. And then here I put a stamp here, and I have one of the stamp with a lady, and here's the other one. I use another the Goody Girls playing cards I have, and then there it is. And then on the last page, I just did a little collage. I cut out this. I love this antique image I cut out from my paper, the newspaper. Oh, I gotta add some more glue right there. And then this flower from Tim Holtz. And then here's one of those napkin flowers I love. And then I did this little paper with vintage lace. And then it just says everyday dresses, garments, etc. And this is from the page. And then in the back of the page, I put another pocket, and I just put the words wishing. And then I have another these cards that open up like a card. So that's there. And then I have another vintage playing card. And then I made a little. Now this is the small. See, this is the back. Another Victorian lady I cut off from the antique paper vintage. You can see the paper. I used the washi tape there, and then I just put a little saying here. The little things. I gotta glue that more. And here's that paper napkin again, and then here's that little cluster right here, and then here's this. Oh, this ruffle lace for my stash, and this is from I got last time I was at the flea market. And then inside, and then in the back, this is my favorite page. This should have been the other way around, but I forgot which way. I was gonna put this in the back and this over here, but you know, when you're looking at TV or maybe I was looking at videos. Anyway, well, here's a small weekly time record, and I put that in the T to make it look vintage. She dreamed beautiful dreams, and then I use this rice paper little girl, and then I put the little roses there, and then in the back I put one of those vintage cards again, playing cards, and then I put up here she could believe, and then inside is just empty. So that's in the back. So let me put this away, like the front there, and then oops. Ooh. So when I was going through my stuff, I forgot I had I used to find all this stuff many years, a couple years. I would look for the cards. These are cards. This is not old. I think this is the 50s or 40s. I don't know. But inside, it comes with envelopes, and then it has the vintage card in there. So I bought these for one of these days for journals 2 or 3 years ago. And then here's those, I don't know, these cards. I found them. I know I have more somewhere, or maybe not. I don't know if I gave them away. And then here's some more cards. I mean, yeah. And then here's some more cards. These are different. These are, I don't know, these are different cards with no envelopes, and these have envelopes. So. And then I found these one time. I don't know if I found them at the flea market or online a long time ago. These are cards too. So I'm always looking for stuff like this, but not. And these are Christmas cards. So my favorite is this one because it has. I love it. Yeah, I love that. So I found those. You know, those. And then oh, excuse me. There you go. I gotta put it in an envelope. And then I found these when I was organizing. I found these. gotta, I think I might have more. Maybe I gave some more away. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, I found these. And I found this, I bought this at Daiso maybe 2 years ago. It's antique design artistic notebook. But I wanted to make it a journal. So that's, and then I found this school note bird book, school series, 1930s. And I said, well, that would be good too to alter or put it in the, and look at the, who owned it has pictures. And it has the math, the tables, and then that's it. So I remember about that one time at the flea market. And then I didn't mean to make this such a long video. And then I found these. This is an antique card. And look at these faces. And look at how it looks pretty good condition. It was until I put something, not papers on top of it. And look, it already was, it tore right there. I'm so mad. But anyway, I'm going to scan that one. I like those, the pictures. It's the antique. It's over 100 years old. And then I found these tags I bought a long time ago at Tuesday morning. Oh wow. So anyway, that's it. And I want to try to make a pocket for this vintage one of those purse, whatever you call it. And I think that's it. And then I'm gonna go next, and I'll show you a haul I did at Dollar Tree if you would like to look at that. Anyway, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you, everybody. Be safe. Blessings and hugs. Thank you. Bye.